Hello, I'm Sakuya, and today I'd like to give a presentation on Japan. The theme of my presentation is the meaning of the tree in Japanese culture. I came up with this idea during our last class on Japanese gardens. So, in fact, the number three is deeply connected to almost every aspect of our culture. Since this might sound abstract, so let's begin with some visual examples. First, let's look at Japanese gardens. Can you spot the relationship with the number 3 in these photos? The pine trees on the left from Kenroku-en is pruned into a triangle shape, and the rock on the right are clearly arranged into a three group. And next, flower arrangement, or Ikebana. People select three main stems called yakueda to form the framework, and the entire piece is then arranged into a triangle. So furthermore, we can see the number 3 everywhere. For instance, we love using Japan's 3 greatest maru or Nihon Sandai nani nani to introduce the best of some things, such as Japan's 3 greatest festival or Japan's 3 greatest night view or something like that. And we also have the 3 secret treasures, which represent the 3 magical items: the mirror, the sword, and the jewel. We even use this phrase for popular household goods or black and white television, washing machines, and refrigerators. Also, we conclude events with Sambonjime, and this involves repeating a 3, 3, 3, and 1 flaps rhythm and repeating 3 times. Even in literature, haiku is composed of the 3 lines, 5, 7, 5 line, and proverbs frequently use 3. For example, the 3 years on the stone, 石の上にも3年 in English, and 3 times the charm, 3度目の正直. And finally, even our rice bowl, onigiri, are commonly made into a triangle shape. So, as we've seen, the number 3 is deeply rooted in our daily lives. So, why is the number 3 so prevalent in Japan? So, next, I'll explain the reason why the number 3 is so frequently used. But let's first look at the broader context: the Japanese tendency to prefer odd numbers, not just 3. In Japanese tradition, odd numbers are generally considered auspicious or lucky. This belief stems from ancient yin-yang philosophy, yin-yang shiso in Japanese. And according to this philosophy, odd numbers are associated with yang, the positive, active, and powerful energy. Therefore, moments of celebration and major life events often fall on odd numbers to invite good fortune. A perfect example is the Shichigo-san festival. This is a traditional rite of passage for children aged 3, 5, and 7. These specific ages are chosen because they represent major positive milestones in a child's healthy development. And the festival is typically held on the 5th of November. So notice that all the numbers are odd. So this demonstrates how deeply the preference for odd numbers is rooted in Japanese tradition as a way to promote stability and growth. So now that we've established the Japanese preference for odd numbers, so next I'll introduce the main themes why the number 3 is so popular among them. First, philosophical and religious meanings. The 3 branches in Ikebana represent Tenchi Jin, heaven, earth, and humans, a concept derived from ancient thought. Furthermore, the 3 rocks in the gardens represent the Buddhist triad, a triad where three statues are arranged to represent a complete spiritual world. And second, stability and cognitive comfort. Consider this example. One or two lines cannot form a stable plane, but three lines create a stable surface. This is a practical reason why chairs and camera stands often have three legs. And in addition to stability, three is cognitively ideal. Humans have the ability to subsidize, which means we can intuitively grasp the number of items up to about three or four. Therefore, our brains perceive three as just right, neither too few or nor too many. This comfort translates to visual design, such as using three locks and rhythmic patterns. And the third, the image of harmony, while the number one suggests isolation and the number two sometimes suggests conflict, like good versus evil. But the third element acts as a meditator. Japanese culture embraced the idea that adding the three elements resolves conflict and creates true harmony. This is the core idea of Tenjin. In conclusion, the number three is closely related to Japanese lifestyles through the lens of philosophy, stability, and harmony. I hope these new perspectives will help you discover many new aspects of Japanese culture in the world. So here's my reference. Thank you for your attention.